And we are live. This is the NonProphet Podcast. What is it? Thursday Night Thought Experiments with Eric and Jake. Good evening. Got some.
Good evening. You sound like you're about to die.
Hey, it is what it is.
Could you be more monotone? Jesus Christ.
Honestly, I'm telling you, I'm tired tonight.
Yeah, I am too. But you gotta dig deep.
I need to practice. I need to practice.
You gotta dig deep. A little bit more inflection in your voice.
I need to practice camera work. That's what I need to do.
Something.
I'm gonna practice my camera work. That's what I need. I'm like avoiding it, but I need to do it. Like trying to, just make videos of myself, record myself, give myself scripts, and do it. Like to make a movie, to make a show, you have to do that. So I'm not really looking forward to that part. So I've just been doing the video editing, but I'll have to do it at some point. I'll have to get over it. So I'm gonna show you a video on that I made today. It's a quick one. Tell me what you think. It's UFOs. Because of course it is. Because of course it is.
Well, that one could be anything.
Well, this is legit. These are half of
No,
these ones
no, I
are.
understand, but that thing could be anything.
These ones were released by the Pentagon.
That one's true. That thing's fucking moving.
Right?
Yeah. Now okay, so they're like disturbing the water. I mean, if you were an alien, would you just create a base where humans couldn't get to you, like in Marianas Trench or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or if it was some military craft.
I don't think it's necessarily aliens.
Well, I'm sure it's just somebody testing some shit out, but
No, we've seen them too many times now. They're not just testing them. They're using these things all the time.
for what end?
I don't know, man. Just beyond my pay grade.
It's fun to
This is
speculate.
crazy.
Otherwise, what's the point in watching these if you speculate?
Well, I mean, I tell you in the video. I mean, I think they're probably flown by the elves. They use anti-gravity tech. They're little capsules that are about 50 foot long. Let's see here. So they're really fast, but they're small. And they come in fleets. So they also, this is another thing that's interesting too, is they're often seen accompanied by a mothership under the water. Another thing too, so something interesting about these particular craft are
Focus.
like they do things that would liquefy a human, right? Like they start
Yeah, I get that.
they come in from radar range at like 80,000 feet and drop into the ocean, like at just free fall, if not like real fast speeds, like, and then come to a stop underneath the surface of the water. That's that'll kill you. So, and there's lots of them
unless you
too.
have some kind of gravitational distortion for writing it.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I don't really think that's the way it works. I don't think you can defy physics quite like that.
I mean, clearly you can. Well, then maybe it's a UAV. I don't know.
So they are. I mean, they are considered to be UAPs. That's like a for sure thing, right? They've been acknowledged by a variety of militaries, the Pentagon, the Navy. They seem to be close by Navy operations. Like, so it's very possible that I think they're probably ours. I mean, I think they're ours, and they're piloted by the elves. That's I might as well just call them. That's why I might as well call them what I think they are. They're called that. They're the elves. Yeah, but why? Where do I lose you?
Well, seeing as how there's zero evidence of an elf that living
Okay,
on this planet.
that's fair. There's not zero evidence. There's been plenty of
No, there's zero.
no. There's lots of what I would call the elves. There's plenty of sightings of these real tall white people. Um, so you can call them what you want. Like I don't really know what they are. Like I'm not saying that I know what they are. And that's why when you say alien, I'm like I don't know if I necessarily call them aliens. But the people who fly these craft are maybe genetically modified humans. Some people say they're genetically modified humans from the future, from like a good future, and they came back, and they've lived with us for a while, and they've mixed with some of us, and they're the ones who fly these craft, and there's like quite a few of them now, and they do for the most part work for the U.S. military.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it
And
sounds a little out there.
yeah, some of this is a little out there, but it's been said a lot of times by a lot of different sources. So if there is any truth in this stuff, it's the most likely case is that not anybody can use the technology, and it's been said that they don't let us have the anti-grav technology, but I think it has probably more to do with that we can't handle it. Like the human body hasn't evolved to deal with it yet. Like we're not particularly good at anti-gravity. We kind of turn to mush, and we have to like exercise really hard and stuff. We can't be in it for very long. So something tells me that they're probably just like modified to
Yeah, but
work.
if you're using that kind of shit in atmosphere, then there's no reason not to be able to use it. In other words, you can use it, and then you get out of it, and you're fine.
Well, okay. So have you seen?
I don't understand the issue.
See, we just don't know. Like we can't really know what that would do to a person. Like we don't have enough.
Clearly.
Do you know about these guys, the triangle ships? So like these ones are different craft.
I've seen pictures like that a long time ago.
So these kinds of craft are considered to be like a little bit more conventional, and they tend to be unmanned, and they used a variety of different like VTOL technologies. Like I don't know if this is real, and this could be a fake for all I know. I'm just kind of putting some pictures up for thought's sake. Like I don't know if any of these pictures are real. I don't take any stock in them. However, there are other kinds of craft out there too that like work completely different, like that work off different technologies than the Tic Tacs. Like these are some ones that have been seen. This is I like that one. I think it's cool. The Cedarville. So this is
Cool.
a not an uncommon shape to see. Have you ever heard of the Phoenix Lights?
Yes, actually.
I haven't. I never got to see any of that, which is a shame. But I wish I could. See a craft like that. It would be so cool to be able to see a craft like that.
Yeah, of course.
It could be dope.
It'd be very awe-inspiring.
I've talked to people who have experienced these craft before. Not the Tic Tacs, but the triangle ones, the wedges. So I call them the wedges and the Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all have like a pretty standard um, archetype. Like the Tic Tacs all have a certain archetype. The Wedge has a certain archetype. It does seem like they put different kinds of crafts in those anti-gravity fields, because there have been a few weird yeah, let me show you. Super weird. Okay, hang on, let me find this video.
I would like to believe these things are completely real, and I would love to see one. I just haven't.
Here's a good one.
So it's hard to suspend disbelief when you haven't seen it.
It's a good one. I've seen that. I have the one with sound, and I'm always like, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in Spanish. And he zooms in, he's like, oh, whoa, what is that? It's so wild.
It just looks like a blob.
Yeah, but it's just hovering out there in the sky.
Yeah. But, I mean,
just wait, wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it. It's hella fucking trippy. The fuck is that thing?
That is super weird. Look how spiky it looks.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I've never seen that design before. It even looks like it might even have some kind of like propulsion system under the bottom of it. It's a trip, dude. That eye shape, I've been seeing more and more of it. It's trippy. Okay.
That's actually pretty clear for what it is.
There are some that aren't too bad. God, there's one that's really good.
Why can't people with seriously professional equipment ever get fucking pictures of these things? You know what I mean?
They're hard. They're hard to get pictures of, man.
I know, but
oh, that's a good Tic Tac one. Where did that other one go? I've got this really good one. And now I can't find it. Oh, that's a shame. Where'd it go? No way. No, where'd it go? I really wanted to show you that. I really wanted to show you that clip. Oh, here it is. Got it. What the fuck is that? What? Oh no, that's the same one. That's the. There's this one that's been confirmed. It's a real video. Those are my favorites, right? Like the ones that are, supposedly legit. And it's this weird ass object goes right over the nose of her plane. And I had that video. I'm looking for it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This is freaking trippy. There you go. There's your professional camera footage for you. Whoop. Whoop. Hey, I'm just Mr. Alien Orb, just flying by. What's up? Just cruising. What up? I'm your friendly alien next door neighbor Orb. Huh?
It does look very weird, I'll give you that. But it's just hard to tell on those cameras.
Dude, that's just good. It's a good clear footage. And that's the thing though, but as I collect more and more evidence, it's like it looks like there's a lot of different kinds of craft out there, man. See, like the you remember the one of my favorite ones, the Moonwalker, not the Moonwalker, the Spacewalker guys, with the little white craft that comes up to him. This one. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but that's not a craft. That's fucking space debris.
I see. To me, it looks like it's moving around and stuff. And space debris moves at like 16,000 miles an hour, and you have to catch up to it. And like they only ever go out into space at like very intentionally. Like there's no reason for them to be in orbit with this thing. There is no reason for them to just like come across space garbage. Like this is not how it works. That thing's dope.
I disagree.
No, it just isn't. This isn't how it works. They want the layman's to think that, like after the fact. Look at it, like transforms. It's like a transformer. It's so crazy.
It's not transforming. It's just rotating.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll try to find better footage. I'll try to find like higher res footage of this. It is just not.
Just let it play through. I want to see some.
You're welcome to.
But it cuts out before you can see a full rotation. Like these are incomplete videos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see 5-second clips. I want to see the whole video.
I'll try.
Like it's always clips.
These are from NASA. I know. This is true. It's hard to find long unedited videos. It just is. I'm on the hunt. You ever find some? You tell me.
Okay.
I'm looking for that kind of stuff now, big time. I want the good stuff. Because like in a lot of stuff,
the good stuff, you kind of gotta almost go to the source, sort of thing.
Well, that's what I've been doing is going. I'm not sure like the method you're supposed to go about it. I just started doing this, but going to the websites and getting like the cleanest video. If I can't just download it, then I'll just copy it with OBS, and then I'll have it, forever. So there's definitely ways to get it done. That's for sure. I don't have any more UAP ones for now. Nothing that I want to show or share. I've been collecting a lot of the witch stuff, the landmark stuff. I want to do an episode on Tartaria. I think that's what it's called.
What's that?
It says that humanity was wiped out recently. Kind of like way more recently than we think.
What, like 10,000 years ago or something?
No, more like 1,000 years ago.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that there was like this advanced civilization that kind of grew on its own throughout the world, and that the oil barons got together and eradicated them. Some even think that it could have been more recently, like 200 or 300 years ago, say around Napoleon.
That just doesn't make any sense, though.
Why?
Because it doesn't.
So, if you're skeptical about things, then just be really skeptical about the past that you were told. Like, what first-hand knowledge can you actually take?
Am. I mean, none, zero. Zilch.
So, like, really, about the only person that I can think of would be my the oldest living person I know is my grandfather, who was born in 1918, so right after the First World War. Yeah. And let's say that I take anything that his grandfather told him to be somewhat true. That would say put him back another 40 to 60 years. So let's say 90 plus 70. So let's say 180, 160 years? Is about all you can trust?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then past that is someone...
That's if you only trust first-hand accounts. And I guess that's all you really can trust at the end of the day, but that's kind of sad. I mean, there are other things that there's just too much evidence to discount it, sort of thing.
Of what? Of right? What?
Just like history in general. Like, there's just too many books out there all saying the same thing. Like, there's too many sources.
They're all owned by like the same like 4 different book companies. They have been for like 200 or 300 years. Most esoteric kind of knowledge is like those books are harder to find. You're not going to find those on Amazon. And if you are, they tend to be slandered into irrelevance.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, let me give you an example. I'm reading the Zachariah Stitchin books about his interpretation of the translations of a bunch of old texts, and I don't agree with everything he says, but like it's laughed at, like it's not like it's fiction, but it's not like he's reinterpreted it a little bit differently than some other people have, but like anyone who's purchasing that stuff off Amazon is going to be biased towards it already. You know, it's like the real textbooks from like underground universities and stuff that will tell you the truth about things doesn't exist. Like they're not really there. You can't really get those books.
I guess it just depends on your definition of truth.
No.
I mean, if enough people believe a thing, is it true?
That's when you start getting into like a little bit deeper topic of like consciousness and hive consciousness, and I would say to some degree you can change truths.
That's my point, though. Like,
I mean, no, I think in a very right, yes, but
at some point there's almost no point to trying to figure out what's really the truth, because the truth has already been written.
I disagree. I disagree.
Going forward,
I feel like there's
not a whole lot is going to change it.
I feel like that's too bleak of a way to look at it for me. I prefer to like someone's covering up things that will keep humanity from achieving greatness. I think it's like a shame that humanity is constantly kept in the dark and treated like slaves. But I also think that we're worth a lot more.
Yeah, but people want that. People are so fucking dumb. And they're sheep, the majority of people. That that's all they're destined for. That's all they'll ever know, because that's all that they can wrap their head around.
I totally agree. I was watching some it was kind of fun on I follow a couple liberal pages, and just to check them out, just to see what kind of crazy shit they get up to. And they literally just have pages dedicated to shitting on people who have like a different thought process on anything archaeology or ancient civilization related. Like they just want to. The only way I can say this is they want to be muggles. Like they're so dogmatic, and it does not make any sense. You just don't want to open your brain to anything.
Makes sense. If I mean, you've heard the saying, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. Right?
Like,
you've heard that.
Yeah, we like
Yes.
like a zombie. I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying like that if everybody believes the thing, then that's the thing. That's what it is. You're not gonna like and just people are mean spirited in general. The stupider the person, the more mean they're gonna be. And what I mean by that is yeah, people are gonna talk shit, they're gonna talk down to people, they're gonna be mean to people online, especially whenever there's some sort of thought process different from the way that they think, because they just flat out cannot wrap their head around thinking any other kind of way, right? So, of course, they're going to act like their baser instincts are going to tell them to be mean and talk shit. Because how dare somebody think differently than they do? I mean, that's just normal, I feel like.
I think that in kind of a real sense that they can kind of trap themselves in a hell, but I don't think they can really like trap other people in them. I think it's pretty easy to get out of those traps and get into your own. I think it's more of like when the powers that be come down on you with guns because you make too big of a disturbance. Like that's like a bigger concern I have. Like I don't really care about the traps, you know, like and quite frankly, I don't, you know, I mean, transsexual, tranny, trap, whatever. Like they are. That's what they are. You know, like.
Well, here's the funny thing that shit's
Who cares?
fucking backfiring. That shit's backfiring big time because people are just. There's certain things you just can't feed a line of bullshit to even stupid people. Even stupid people draw the line somewhere. And calling a tranny a woman or a man, depending on how they were born, is stepping over that line. No sensible person, no adult, sensible, logical person entertains that shit for even half a heartbeat.
I mean, there's a lot of people who accept it, and they are...
Acceptance is completely different from buying in hook, line, and sinker.
Dude,
every single one of those people know. They know that it's a fucking bunch of bullshit hoo-hoo.
They do nothing about it. They don't care. They don't care.
Correct.
They're at least complicit.
Live their life. They don't give a shit.
They're at least complicit.
They're gonna live their life. They don't give a fuck.
They are at very least complicit.
No, they're just weak. They're too concerned about what other people think.
That's not, I can't. I just don't care what other people think about anything. They say that Merlin was one of the first great spellcasters of our time, one of the first Freemasons.
Who?
Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was real. He had a castle. He was around for a long time, lived a long time. And he was like an alchemist and spellcaster and one of the first Masons. It's cool. Looking into esoteric stuff like that for fun. So anyways, the Tartarians, if you kind of just like strip down all of your how do you call this? Let me give you some photos. Let me give you some photos. It'll help. So let me get back to where's the beginning of my just old buildings that you just don't see anymore that are built with stone.
You went through this last time.
Yeah. Did you see it? Did I show you these ones? This kind of stuff?
Yeah.
The more modern kinds of things. Like big boats, stuff made out of iron.
Yeah.
Not all that Gulbenkian Tempe stuff, but
that's all just people being cheap and trying to use knowledge to use as little materials as possible, as cheap as possible, to make a thing work.
Yeah, but what's the point? What's the point in making stuff cheap if it doesn't last? So,
and therein lies the issue. People don't care if it lasts. They just want to make it as cheap as possible and charge as much as possible. It's greed.
I hear you, but nonetheless, it's still a technological reversal.
Yes.
It's still a technological reversal. I mean, these are things from a couple hundred years ago. These things are done with such precision. These things are done with such precision that we can't match it today. Oh, I need to flip over to.
And nobody cares because it makes them more money. What do they give a fuck?
So there's more. People think there's more to it than that. That it's not that yes, that's the case now because everything is done for a profit, but that's kind of already the premise here, right? Like, why not take it one step further and say that these people purposely removed this technology from the planet so that they can enslave you? Because they know that stone buildings last forever, and if you start building your own stone buildings, then you can rival them. So instead of teaching you how to build stone buildings, they started teaching you how to make buildings out of cardboard, and since they own the education system, this is what they've done. They've de-engineered the planet. Like, I literally think this is a belief I actually hold. This isn't like, I guess. Like, this is
well, if you want to remain in power, how do you do it?
And part of this is factual. Like, look at these grand structures.
If you want to hold the yoke of humanity, how do you do it?
Tell them to make their houses out of wood. I mean, that's a really good way to do it.
Get them addicted to buying things they don't need.
Yep.
Get them to eat food that makes them unhealthy.
I mean, some of these structures and like some of the other places I've been in the world.
Make it normal to do things for other people for a little piece of paper that's worth nothing.
I mean, the structures lasted thousands of years.
Goes on. And then on top of that, they make that's pretty cool.
So, and there's a bunch of these too. Like, this is, I think this one's in New York. I think it turned into a court building in New York. But anyways, like these kinds of structures, like, and also I think there's more to them than we're told than there is to them. I think there's buildings have certain kinds of properties, and like we've lost all of that with. I'm not like, don't need to go like all crazy spiritual, nothing like that either. Just in general, just that there is some stuff hidden to us about these kinds of structures. That there's a like a magic behind them. But anyways, this technology was essentially like, the theory goes that they essentially killed anybody who had free energy, like just leveled the cities, raised them, burned them to the ground, and anybody who knew anything about it. And they did this all over the world.
Pretty awful.
And then they completely took over all education system production of textbooks and whatnot, and just erased it from history. That's what happened. And that's who rules us. And that's called the Tartarians.
It's kind of wild because everything is school-based, right? Like, people don't teach their children anything anymore. Stories aren't passed down from generation to generation anymore.
I know, dude. I'm telling you, like, if you let the wall come down, in your mind that's been built up about everything that's going on, you see how casually I talk about this stuff? It's because I think this stuff is more believable than the shit was taught in school now. Because I know everything that was taught to me in school is a fucking lie. Like, I know it's all a lie. Every single bit of it. Like, the way I was taught mathematics. Like, I'm sure there's some seriously inefficient shit taught into that, and the ways I do mathematics inefficient. You know, like I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You know, like there's better ways to do things. Like I guarantee you that shit's hidden to keep us stupid. Guarantee it.
Yeah. I don't know that there's much we can do about it.
No, see, that's the only thing that kind of that is a little scary to me. Is it makes me feel like that you kind of have to be a nobody. You kind of have to like go out in the woods and like build your own Tesla coils and stuff, and just kind of like be left alone, and do it in peace. You know, if that's the kind of like lifestyle you want to live. So, but you do have to make some money. You have to get the hell out of Dodge, and you have to get off, and you have to start working to get yourself off grid or get an orchard. You know, to produce your own food and electricity, have running water, that kind of thing. Yeah, get yourself some land somewhere so you can take on some fun projects, and then hand that down to your kids. I mean, that's like gets deeper into like what I think about legacy and whatnot, and I don't really need to get into that at this moment, but. I am kind of fascinated by this whole idea that stonemasonry was essentially taken from us, and more than importantly than stonemasonry, that stonemasonry is like kind of the symbol of a technologically advanced civilization, and that anytime they tell us that these old stone buildings were built with like really primitive tools and stuff, it's a lie. It's a lie. Once people got to that tech, they were riding high. Their technology is not linear either. Like they were probably like technologically advanced in other things that we weren't necessarily, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's all conjecture to me. Like I don't know. Like I'm just throwing shit out there. I don't know what the truth is. I'm just telling you that I don't believe anything I was taught in school anymore. And there's a couple other theories I've looked into out there that seem a little bit more believable, and one of them is this Tartarian one. Particularly for modern history, if you want to stay like the last 1,000 years or so, that I think the Tartarian history is like a real cool history to look up, and you can find old textbooks and stuff that have pictures of buildings that are like, I'm saving everything I find now, but you know, pictures of old buildings and structures that have been torn down, and there's just tons of it. It was everywhere, man. They just took down all these like huge stone structures that were meant to last 1,000 years. And I've been told that the reason why is that kings like to take down the monuments of old kings. And so they do. Like when a new bloodline takes over, like they will. Like they'll fucking tear it all down. They're notorious for it. They've done it for eons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all we get left is these like hidden structures that were buried underground that humans like and are sentimental about. And there's some conspiracy behind some of that stuff now too. They're not letting people into these archaeological sites because they don't like what they're finding in them. So they're building over the top of them and saying "fuck off."
People fucking with them. But that is one thing I have noticed, like big time in modern. Like, I remember when I was a kid. Like, you could go into any of these archaeological places, like any of these places, like national parks, and you could go anywhere you wanted. You could touch anything you wanted. You could do anything. And in the last 25 years, you can't do, say, touch, feel. You can't do anything. Everything's roped off. Structured. Everybody stands in a line. Nobody can touch anything. Nobody can do anything.
You know why?
Everything's a fucking tour. Like, you know why? Nobody's supposed to think for them fucking selves anymore.
Do you know why?
Well, because they're hiding shit from us.
Well, yeah, but what they're hiding specifically is that people are going missing from national parks like crazy. It's getting out of control. They say it's because lots of people come and go, but it's like, even still, even the tighter they make security around those places, the more people just keep disappearing out of national parks. Like, you need to be careful in national parks. Like being out late in faraway areas by yourself, you need to be careful because you will disappear.
I mean, that could be for multiple reasons, but yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it.
It could, but it's very likely it is lots of reasons. However, so here's the thing. This is kind of like one of those rabbit holes. I won't go too deep into the rabbit hole. I'll just hit the surface. This whole national park is oftentimes called the missing 411. I forget, like Alaska's got some ungodly amount of people have gone missing in the last like 20 years, like 400,000 people or something. Yellowstone National Park, Yosemite National Park. There's
how is that even possible?
Dude, that's the thing. That's what's crazy about this is the number is getting outrageous. Like the amount, like it's hundreds of thousands of people who've been going missing from these parks, and they keep tightening up security. And there's all this crazy, paranormal phenomena associated with it. All like so many different stories. And like you said, it's probably different a lot of things. It is like everything from fucking Wendigos to interdimensional creatures. Like it's wild. The stories, wild. So I'll go just to touch deeper on this one. If you've ever looked into stories like Skinwalker Ranch, which is really entertaining. It's supposed to be pretty true as well. Because they still have teams on it that research on that property to this day. But that shit happens near military bases out there in national forests. Like crazy shit goes down. Like they do weird tests and stuff out there, and like people go missing, and you got to be careful. The parks aren't as friendly as they used to be.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, like
nowhere's friendly anymore. I feel like though.
Like one of the things that's brought me to this point in my podcasting and video editing and such was true crime. I really like the case study of humans, the human condition, and there's a lot on that, and like true crime stuff, like you will come across paranormal stuff, like you just will, like it once you've been doing it for a while, doing video and interrogation footage, like murder suspects, that kind of stuff, you will eventually come across really weird cases, but you will undoubtedly come across a bunch of 411 cases, like which are the national park cases. Like you'll come across a bunch of them, and they mix in with like more local stuff and more like otherworldly, and they're convincing too. Like I tended to not be into this stuff. Like some of the stuff, it's the research that's made me a believer as of late. It shifted my perception. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy by any means.
I mean,
I read too much, if anything.
People that aren't crazy never have to say, "I'm not crazy." Just saying.
So, okay, well, if I'm crazy, it's because I've read too much about it.
If I were you, I wouldn't even dignify that with a caveat that says I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even dignify that response.
You don't have to.
In other words, there's no reason to say that. So
you don't have to.
If you're not crazy, you're not crazy. You don't have to tell somebody you're not crazy. It's like saying, I'm innocent. Like, okay, you're just sounding more guilty by the second.
Okay, I am crazy. How's that? The all-seeing eye?
No, I'm not saying reverse psychology. I'm just saying that you don't say that you're crazy or you're not crazy. You don't say anything at all. You just express your thoughts and you leave it at that. You follow?
That's fair. I have a problem with apologizing and doing those kinds of things as well. So yes, it's
Yeah, no.
I'm aware.
You should apologize when you really have something to apologize for, not
Sure.
when you don't.
You ever seen that before? This is crazy. I went around and looked at a bunch of football stadiums, and there are a bunch of creepy ass football stadiums.
Yeah, they totally look like eyes.
Yeah. This is funny.
But if I was a designer, I would do that shit too. I mean, it looks fucking crazy, right?
Oh, hell yeah. No, I mean, of course.
Why not? If I was designing a football stadium, why wouldn't I make it look like an eye or something cool? I mean, it's certainly a great opportunity to do so.
I like the Saturn memes.
Yeah, I hate man. Truth or assert lunatics can't keep the rooms. I hate Saturn. Okay.
It's all a bunch of Saturn worship, and supposedly Saturn likes a lot of rule and order. And the meme is that you would like Saturn if you could just keep your fucking room clean. Gotcha. I'm not a Saturn worshiper. I'll never be a Saturn worshiper. But I do think the Saturn worshiper memes are funny. This is. Have I shown you this one?
Yeah, I showed that before. Titan.
I got one more and I'm done for the night. The OG swastikas. I got a couple of good ones. Pretty sure that one's in.
I always think it's very interesting when people see that they can't look past the symbol to what it's been used for in the past.
Well,
it's just kind of like it's rebranding of symbolism, right? So like, and people are so fucking dumb. Like, for example, if you go fly a Confederate flag behind your vehicle or something, like, people are also going to think you're racist. Because they put it in a movie once.
Yeah, well,
you
yeah,
know
but
what I mean? Like,
a Confederate flag just doesn't even come close to the Nazi symbol. And they can we'll call it. It shouldn't even be called the Nazi symbol. I should find out what its real word is and start using it again.
A swastika. It's not a Nazi symbol.
Yeah, but swastika is even the most recent German word for it. I'm sure there's a different. I should learn the real word. Because this picture here, this is
I don't know it either.
That's how old this symbol is. I'm telling you, it's like it's a magic symbol. The Jews want to outlaw this magic symbol. I have this in like 3 different saved folders. I'm really been working on. I want to do a Facebook thread on witches. I really want to do a Facebook thread on witches. My Buzz Aldrin, that motherfucker. I need to get the video clips of him telling people we've never been to the moon.
Are they real?
Yeah, they're real. Yeah, he's said it a bunch of times. He's tweeted a bunch of shit and deleted it. Fucking crazy shit. Right.
I'd actually believe that we've never been to the moon quite easily. I mean, I don't really give a shit one way or the other.
We've been to the moon. We've been to the moon. We've been to the moon. We go there every night. Like 3 or 4 different nations probably go to the moon on a frequent basis.
To what end?
There's a bunch of bases up there. There's cities up there.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, without doubt. Like, I think there's, like, too much evidence. Like, if you really want to start digging through Freedom of Information Act kind of stuff, like I said, I have to start, like, saving this kind of stuff. I never have in my life, but I will. I'm going to have to if I want to be an investigative journalist, you know? But there's just so much evidence of stuff on.
So what is this? What is this ring?
I think it's a wizard's ring. Like a grandmaster. And if you will notice that most of them play the part, that black lady, her name is Sheila something. She's been around for she's been in conspiracy theories for a long time. She was the head of the Secret Service during the Trump assassination.
Really?
Yeah, and guess what?
What?
She died of unknown causes 3 days later.
No way.
Yep, she was a grand witch. Definitely a well-known grand witch. Huh? You know, it's possible. It's possible. You know, Trump's a grand wizard too. I want those photos so bad. There's a few photos on the internet floating around. Do you know that Trump is one of the highest wizards of all wizards?
How so?
He is considered to be one of the highest ranked wizards in the world.
How's that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what that means in that world. But he is considered to be one of the highest ranked wizards. And I've seen him in his red garb a couple times. I'm gonna have to go and like make some Facebook threads. Oh, here's that same chick. So she's got the pedo ring. She used to love wearing this ring. Even during the whole like pedogate thing, she'd still wear it.
Symbols and logos used by pedophiles that are...
Yeah, no, that's
really?
totally a pedophile symbol. It's a well-known pedophile
Really?
symbol. Yes. It's a well-known pedophile symbol. If you see someone wealthy wearing $1 million or whatever that thing is, like let's say a $50,000 ring like that, you damn sure fucking know what you're putting on your finger. A grand witch, she knows the symbolism behind the shit she wears. Every piece of it, the black and white masonry, like her shirt, her coat that she wears, they're wrapped in symbolism. You know, wrapped in symbolism. All those people. And here's the thing is that you don't have to believe it. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. They do. Like, they believe this stuff. They go to weird-ass rituals and fucking try and talk to spirits and shit like that. They're weird. Who knows what they do? I mean, I know some of the stuff they do, but I cannot talk about it on a podcast. Not tonight. One day I will. I will make that video. But not yet. Not yet. Yeah, there's like different witches and symbols of power that you'll see throughout, like particularly like royalty and the elites. The red shoes. It's one of my like least favorite. I can't talk about that one either.
Why?
Because it's too gross. Oh. See, that one needs to go in my not safe for work. So that one's getting moved. Because I accidentally landed on it. Hillary Clinton, High Priestess. You know it.
Quite the get up.
Right? I know. She's a High Priestess.
Of what?
Satanism. She was like a part of some group called the Shadow Occult or something like that. At least that's what the conspiracy theorists call it.
Creepy ass sons of bitches.
Right? But hey, Trump didn't do too bad for being a high wizard. He is worth a lot of money, and he did become a president of the United States, and he might do it a second time. So, if there's any truth behind that stuff...
I mean, it's looking like he's going to be the next president to me, but...
I mean, probably very likely that he will be.
If he's not, I'm really, truly starting to look at him moving out of this country.
Kamala Harris is just...
The alternative is going to be Kamala Harris, which is scary as fuck.
Alright.
I mean, it's already turning... It's already a creepy shit going on. Anyway, let's wrap it up, Ben.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna pay attention to my dog.
Yeah, I do. I am gonna go spend some attention with my wife. Alright, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Alright, and I am gonna cut the stream now.